What's up, everybody? So, this is Geocomms, new to YouTube pretty much for this type of stuff, and I am going over my Ridge Racer spring of 2025 loadout. Obviously, we've already run it, and now, since you can see it's all dirty, I got the green tape, it's part of Green Squad, but we are going to go over the loadout here. We'll start with our the battle belt. It's basically just running, it's an S-Tac belt with S-Tac Kiwis, 2 pistol, 2 rifle, IFAC, a Blackhawk Omnivore holster with the Smith & Wesson M&P 9, clear, and a Hollow Sun HS407C, whatever that is, and a TLR1. So it's the pistol we ran. It did good, other than the issues of open emitter optics in shitty conditions. It got muddy and scratched. Belt ran well, didn't lose any magazines. Dump patch retained everything that I threw in it, so can't complain about any of that stuff. Next up would be I decided to run a chest rig on this one, and this is the Midwest Industries Recon. It did very well. It's kind of like an upgraded TAPS rig almost. So in total I ran 2 mags on the belt and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mags in the chest rig, and I did that worked well. As well as I also kept a spare pistol mag stuffed in the chest rig there, and then plenty of miscellaneous wet wipes, range cards, lens cleaning cloths, which came in clutch, like that one there, bandanas and other things, like here's a whole bandana in here, lens cloths, wet wipes, what else? Oh, a spare BCG, or not a spare BCG, a spare bolt cleaning kit, AR cleaning kit and rods, a whole bolt firing pin assembly, and all that good stuff. That all worked very well. Some food, some batteries, some band-aids for boo-boos. But the Midwest Industries, or Midwest Armor Recon laser rig did very well. I was quite happy with that. It does have aftermarket retention pockets in there. What do you want to call them? Similar to S-Tac, but knockoffs. And then we ran the PGD Arch something ballistic helmet with, these are the cheapo Earmore. I think they're like Peltor knockoffs or something, but they it rained the entire time, and they're still alive and kicking, and they work great. Helmet is a mixed bag for this competition in particular, but we'll get into that stuff later. 3D printed camera mount, a cat to photobomb everything. This got knocked off in one of the stages, but other than that, it worked very well for getting footage. I was happy with how that worked. And then just a 100-ounce move cat. 100-ounce water bladder. And then the rifle that we ran. This is a BCM lower, arrow upper, I think. With an NIB nickel boron coated bolt carrier group. I think it's a Palmetto State rail. I know, not the greatest, but it works. A Faxon gunner profile barrel, so it is normal thickness profile back here behind the handguard, and then it goes to pencil thickness out front here, which is okay. ABA-10 Warthog 5.56 suppressor, been quite happy with that. It did well, had a couple issues with getting it through various ports, but we made it work, kinda. And then this is the SMS Laser HFXC V2. It survived the rain and still works. So that was good to see. It survived very, very wet conditions, raining all day, and still works. Got a Magpul bad lever on there, whether you love them or hate them, whatever, I don't care. Athlon 2 to 12 by 42, great scope so far. Locking turrets, sighting at 100 yards. I was able to make hits out to 500 with it, and I think this is a, this is a cheapo pick mount for a 30 mil too, but so far it's worked. I don't have any complaints about it. And then a Hollow Sun 403C for my top dot, which worked well enough. Worked pretty well. No complaints about it really. So that is my rifle setup and the basic gear that I had on me. I was running AAC 77 grain. Note that there is issues going on with this stuff. I had to designate certain mags like this with yellow tape where the higher velocity stuff from like 2024, and then the other mags without the tape were the newer lower velocity stuff, and I didn't care because I was just using it within 100 yards. It didn't make a difference. I mean, overall I can't complain too much. So then, yeah, so that's our basic web gear loadout. Now let's dive into wet weather gear. So wet weather gear wise, I actually ran their Swedish Surplus M90 camo pants. These things do great because they actually have some sort of like DWR waterproofing coating on them. And they're a little heavier, so they do help keep you warm in the colder temps, because it was like a low or a high of like 56 that day and just raining. As you can tell, we got a bit muddy. Those kept me pretty dry all day. I was wearing wool socks and then Merrell Gore-Tex boots, which worked well. And then I had a Gore-Tex upper jacket and that wasn't my main raincoat though. The best thing from the competition was this German rubberized wet weather poncho. That kept me dry and warm the entire competition when most Gore-Tex ponchos and tops were failing and letting water through. This was keeping me dry and warm. And when I was running the various stages and stuff, I simply just buttoned it behind my back. You'll see in footage in upcoming videos. Just basically buttoned it behind my back and wore it like a cape. And it worked fantastic. That thing was amazing. It was the gear winner of that match for me. And then I just basically wore, it was like an athletic, breathable shirt that wicks moisture, wool socks, Merrell Gore-Tex boots, and I stayed warm and dry. So that was my basic gear loadout. I really don't have many complaints gear-wise. I was quite happy with how everything ran. And we'll get into all the nitty-gritty details of the various stages and everything and what went wrong and what went right in the videos and various after-action stuff.